Hold up, love and marriage. Huntsville fans, what in the world just happened in LA? The entire LAMH cast showed up glammed out for the reunion, dripping in designer looks and confidence. But one name was conspicuously missing: Arionne Curry. And let me tell you, she did not take it quietly. From fiery Instagram rants to cryptic shade thrown at the cast, Arionne's reaction has the internet absolutely buzzing. But wait until you hear what she said about being blacklisted from the show. This part will leave your jaw on the floor. Fans of love and marriage, Huntsville, buckle up, because this reunion is shaping up to be one of the most talked about moments of the entire season. The cast descended on Los Angeles looking like royalty, ready to settle scores and spill truths under the bright studio lights. But as the cameras rolled and the group posed for flawless behind-the-scenes photos, Arionne's absence didn't just raise questions, it ignited a full-on social media storm. Viewers are calling it one of the most intense, fashion-forward, and emotionally charged reunions the love and marriage Huntsville cast has ever had. Hold up, love and marriage. Huntsville fans, what in the world just happened in LA? The entire LAMH cast showed up glammed out for the reunion, dripping in designer looks and confidence. But one name was conspicuously missing: Arionne Curry. And let me tell you, she did not take it quietly. From fiery Instagram rants to cryptic shade thrown at the cast, Arionne's reaction has the internet absolutely buzzing. But wait until you hear what she said about being blacklisted from the show. This part will leave your jaw on the floor. Fans of love and marriage, Huntsville, buckle up, because this reunion is turning into one of the most talked about moments of the entire season. The cast descended on Los Angeles looking like royalty, ready to settle scores and spill truths under the bright studio lights. But as the cameras rolled and the group posed for flawless behind-the-scenes photos, Arionne's absence didn't just spark questions, it ignited a full-on social media storm. You won't believe how this reunion has already divided fans online. Viewers are calling it one of the most intense, fashion-forward, and emotionally charged gatherings the LAMH cast has ever had. Yet behind all the glam and glitter lies tension, betrayal, and unspoken rivalries ready to explode. In this video, we're diving deep into what really went down during the love and marriage Huntsville reunion in Los Angeles. From who came dressed to steal the show to Arionne Curry's explosive response after being excluded, we'll uncover every detail fans are desperate to know. We'll explore the behind-the-scenes drama, the cast dynamics, and the clues that reveal how the upcoming season might take a shocking turn. So grab your tea, because this story is just heating up. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this reunion could change everything for the LAMH cast. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The tension didn't start at the reunion. It's been building for months, and the signs were all over social media. When the love and marriage Huntsville cast landed in Los Angeles for their highly anticipated reunion, fans immediately knew this wasn't going to be a regular taping. The cast came prepared, not just with their stories and receipts, but with bold fashion statements that screamed confidence, power, and a touch of revenge. The moment photos started surfacing online, social media went into overdrive. Melody Sherry, glowing from head to toe, arrived in a sleek metallic gown that had every camera flash following her every move. Her entrance set the tone, confident, untouchable, and clearly ready to reclaim her spotlight. Fans on Twitter quickly dubbed her the Beyoncé of LAMH reunions, praising how unbothered and radiant she looked despite all the chaos brewing around her name. Then came Martell Holt, calm, collected, but clearly aware that every eye in the room would be watching his every word and reaction. His history with both Melody and Arionne Curry was bound to make him one of the central figures of the night. Martell kept his look clean and classic, a quiet reminder that he knows exactly how to stay in the spotlight without saying much. But that silence? It spoke volumes. Meanwhile, Letitia Scott and Marceau entered looking every bit like a power couple ready for war. Letitia's deep emerald gown sparkled under the studio lights, but her expression told a different story. Insiders claim the tension between her and Melody hasn't cooled off, and the reunion may have reignited old wounds that were never truly healed. Marceau, standing tall beside her, appeared calm, but fans could sense that something was brewing beneath the surface. Kimmy Scott's arrival, though softer and more elegant, brought a sense of balance. Her understated grace reminded fans why she's often seen as the voice of reason in the group. Yet, even she couldn't avoid the undercurrent of tension flowing through that studio. But here's where things took a turn. As the cast began posting behind-the-scenes clips and professional photos from the reunion, fans started noticing the same thing over and over again. One face was missing. There was no sign of Arionne Curry anywhere. Not in the cast lineup, not in the teaser footage, not even in the rumored seating arrangements. The moment that realization hit, social media exploded. Comments flooded the internet asking, "Where's Arionne? And why wasn't she invited?" Some fans argued that her absence was a calculated move by producers to keep the focus on the main cast, while others believed it was a form of silencing, a way to avoid reopening one of the most controversial storylines in love and marriage. Huntsville history. If there's one thing we've learned about Arionne Curry, it's that she's never been one to stay silent when her name starts trending. And when fans realized she wasn't invited to the reunion, it didn't take long before Arionne took matters into her own hands. Late that evening, as reunion photos started circulating across Instagram, Arionne jumped on her social media platforms, and the energy was nothing short of electric. Her Instagram story lit up with posts that sent shockwaves through the fandom. Some were cryptic, others direct, but all carried one message loud and clear. She was not happy about being left out by one post. She hinted that the cast had tried to erase her, claiming that people were playing clean on camera but dirty behind the scenes. In another, she shared a quote about truth always coming to light, sparking an avalanche of speculation. Fans immediately flooded her comment sections, begging for clarity, while others accused the show of intentionally silencing her voice to protect certain cast members. The internet became a battlefield overnight. Twitter threads popped up dissecting every word she wrote. Some fans sided with Arionne, insisting she deserved to tell her side of the story, that after years of being at the center of some of the show's biggest scandals, she had earned a seat on that reunion stage. Others, however, argued that her exclusion was justified, saying the show needed a clean break from the past drama to move forward. Still, what really caught everyone's attention wasn't just Arionne's words, but her tone. She sounded fed up, tired of being labeled, and ready to expose the truth about what really happens off camera. One of her most shared statements read, "They keep pretending this story started on TV, but I lived it long before the cameras came." That single line sent shockwaves across social media. It reignited conversations about how reality TV manipulates narratives, what viewers see versus what truly happens behind closed doors. Bloggers, YouTube commentators, and gossip pages jumped in almost immediately. Headlines popped up across entertainment outlets. Arionne Curry speaks out after reunion snub. Arionne calls out LAMH cast for excluding her, and did OWN silence Arionne Curry? The conversation wasn't just about her being left out anymore. It became about control, image, and power. And while Arionne didn't mention anyone by name, the subtext was impossible to ignore. Many interpreted her posts as subtle digs at both Melody Sherry and Martell Holt. After all, her history with Martell is deeply intertwined with the show's foundation. Without that storyline, love and marriage, Huntsville might not have become the explosive hit it is today. But here's the twist that got everyone talking. Sources close to production claimed that Arionne's absence wasn't just a random decision. Behind the glam and glitter of the love and marriage, Huntsville reunion lies a storm of tension, betrayal, and unspoken rivalries ready to erupt. In this video, we're diving deep into what really went down in Los Angeles, from who showed up dressed to steal the spotlight to Arionne Curry's explosive response after being excluded. We'll uncover the behind-the-scenes drama, shifting alliances, and the clues hinting that the next season could take a shocking turn. So grab your tea, because this story is heating up fast. And trust me, by the end, you'll understand why this reunion might change everything for the LAMH cast. But here's where things get even more interesting. The tension didn't start at the reunion. It's been brewing for months, and the signs were all over social media. When the love and marriage Huntsville cast touched down in Los Angeles for their highly anticipated reunion, fans instantly knew this wasn't going to be an ordinary taping. Everyone came prepared, not just with receipts and storylines, but with bold fashion choices that screamed confidence, power, and maybe even revenge. The moment photos surfaced online, social media exploded. Melody Sherry, glowing from head to toe, arrived in a sleek metallic gown that caught every flash in the room. Her entrance said it all: confident, untouchable, and ready to reclaim her spotlight. Fans on X quickly dubbed her the Beyoncé of LAMH reunions, praising her unbothered aura and radiant confidence despite all the chaos that surrounded her name in recent months. Then came Martell Holt, calm, collected, but clearly aware that all eyes would be on him. His complicated history with both Melody and Arionne Curry guaranteed that he'd be one of the night's main focal points. Martell kept his look classic, simple but sharp, a quiet reminder that he knows how to stay in the spotlight without saying too much. But that silence spoke louder than words. Meanwhile, Letitia Scott and Marceau Scott entered looking every bit the power couple, exuding authority and control. Letitia's deep emerald gown shimmered under the studio lights, though her expression hinted at something less serene. Sources close to production say her tension with Melody hasn't cooled off, and that this reunion might have reopened wounds that never truly healed. Marceau stood tall and composed beside her, but fans could sense the unease behind his smile. Kimmy Scott's entrance brought a touch of calm amid the chaos. Graceful, elegant, and understated, she reminded fans why she's often seen as the show's voice of reason. Yet even her composed presence couldn't mask the undercurrent of tension pulsing through that studio. But then, something strange started happening online. As cast members posted behind-the-scenes clips and official photos from the reunion, fans noticed one thing over and over again. Someone was missing. Arionne Curry's face was nowhere to be seen. Not in the group shots, not in the teaser clips, not even in the rumored seating charts. Once fans realized she wasn't there, social media went wild. Comments flooded the internet. Where's Arionne? Why isn't she invited? Some fans argued it was a strategic move by producers to keep focus on the main cast. Others believed it was something deeper, a deliberate attempt to silence her and erase one of the most explosive storylines in the show's history. And if there's one thing we know about Arionne Curry, she never stays quiet for long. When fans realized she hadn't been invited to the reunion, Arionne took matters into her own hands. That night, as reunion photos circulated across Instagram, she lit up her social media stories with a series of cryptic posts that sent shockwaves through the LAMH fandom. Some were subtle, others direct, but every one of them carried the same message. She was furious about being left out. In one post, she accused people of playing clean on camera but dirty behind the scenes. In another, she shared a quote about truth always coming to light, a post that instantly fueled speculation. Fans flooded her comments demanding answers, while others accused the network of silencing her to protect certain cast members. Twitter turned into a battlefield overnight. Threads popped up dissecting every word Arionne posted. Some fans sided with her, saying she deserved the right to tell her side after years of being central to the show's biggest scandals. Others argued the opposite, that her absence was necessary for the cast to move on from past drama and evolve. But what really caught everyone's attention wasn't just what Arionne said, it was how she said it. Her tone was raw, emotional, and defiant. She sounded fed up, tired of being labeled, and ready to finally expose the truth about what really goes on off-camera. One line in particular went viral. "They keep pretending this story started on TV, but I lived it long before the cameras came." That single sentence reignited debate about how reality TV manipulates narratives, what viewers see versus what truly happens behind closed doors. Bloggers, YouTubers, and gossip outlets jumped on the story immediately. Headlines lit up. Arionne Curry speaks out after reunion snub. Arionne calls out LAMH cast. And did OWN silence Arionne Curry? What started as a simple absence turned into a full-blown conversation about power, image, and control. And while Arionne never called anyone out by name, the subtext was obvious. Many interpreted her posts as indirect shots at both Melody Sherry and Martell Holt. After all, her history with Martell is deeply tied to the show's foundation. Without that storyline, love and marriage, Huntsville might never have become the cultural flashpoint it is today. But here's the twist. According to insiders, Arionne's exclusion wasn't random. Reports claim producers actually debated whether to invite her, but decided against it due to concerns over security, emotional triggers, and the overall direction of the reunion. When that rumor hit the blogs, Arionne's tone online became even more defiant. She posted another message that read, "They only love your story when it makes them money." Fans took it as a direct shot at the network, accusing the show of exploiting her drama for ratings and then discarding her when it no longer served their agenda. Soon, fans began tagging the OWN network directly, demanding that Arionne be given a platform to speak. Comments poured in under reunion promos. "We want Arionne's side. This reunion is fake without her. Stop hiding the truth." But what really set producers on edge, insiders say, wasn't the backlash. It was Arionne's influence. Despite not being part of the official cast, she still commands a loyal following. One insider put it simply, "When Arionne speaks, people listen, and that makes the network nervous." Still, the most chilling part wasn't what she said, it was what she hinted she might say next. Her final post that night read, "Y'all haven't even heard half of it." That single sentence sent fans into a frenzy. Was she sitting on information that could blow the entire LAMH narrative apart? If so, this reunion might not be the end of the story. It could be the beginning of a whole new chapter. While Arionne was making waves online, the rest of the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast was under the bright lights of the reunion stage in Los Angeles. Cameras were rolling, producers were pacing, and the tension was thick enough to feel through the screen. Each cast member came in with something to prove, not just to the audience, but to each other. Backstage, the energy was electric and heavy. Everyone knew. On top of that, several gossip pages began reporting that producers at OWN were allegedly concerned about Arionne's growing influence online. Although she isn't officially part of the show, her name continues to dominate every conversation about it. One entertainment insider even claimed that Arionne's absence became the story, not the reunion itself. That wasn't what the network wanted. Instead of headlines focusing on the cast's glamorous looks or reconciliations, the trending tags were all about Arionne Curry, her exclusion, and her cryptic social media posts. Viewers who hadn't tuned in for months suddenly returned, eager to see what all the noise was about. Ironically, being left out may have made Arionne the most talked about person in the Love and Marriage Huntsville universe once again. Behind the scenes, the fallout was far from over. Several cast members, especially those closest to Martell, were reportedly frustrated that his connection to Arionne continues to overshadow their own storylines. A few even suggested privately that if this drama keeps escalating, the network might need to address it directly next season. As one source put it, the audience wants closure. They want to see this chapter officially close or explode. Meanwhile, Melody Sherry appeared to rise above it all. She kept her image polished, posting reunion photos and promoting her projects without acknowledging the drama. Still, her silence didn't stop fans from reading between the lines. Every caption she shared, every lyric she quoted, was interpreted as a subtle jab or coded message. When she posted a photo with a caption, "Peace looks good on me," fans immediately flooded the comments, asking if it was aimed at Arionne or the entire situation. Martell, on the other hand, seemed to retreat. He kept a low profile after the reunion, posting only about his wine brand and fitness ventures. Yet even in his silence, fans sensed the tension. His name was trending alongside Arionne's, something he couldn't ignore. As days passed, the situation only intensified. Leaked screenshots allegedly showing text exchanges between cast members discussing Arionne's posts began circulating online. Though unverified, they fueled speculation that producers were scrambling to control the narrative before the reunion aired. Then came a surprising twist. An anonymous source claiming to be part of the production team posted online that the network might be reconsidering its stance on Arionne. According to the post, executives were allegedly debating whether bringing her back in some capacity could boost ratings. Drama equals viewers, the post claimed. Love her or hate her, Arionne keeps people talking. If true, it suggests Arionne Curry might not be done with the LAMH world after all. Her absence from the reunion could be setting the stage for a dramatic comeback, one that could shake up every relationship, alliance, and storyline moving forward. But for now, fans remain divided. Some believe she deserves a chance to finally tell her story unfiltered. Others think bringing her back would only reopen old wounds. Still, one thing is undeniable. Her presence, even from afar, has already stolen the spotlight from the entire reunion. And as more leaks, rumors, and behind-the-scenes whispers continue to surface, one question remains. Is this the beginning of Arionne Curry's redemption arc, or the start of an even bigger storm that could tear the LAMH cast apart?